Meanwhile, this is the husband of slain Air Force veteran Ashli Babbitt, who died on January 6th there at the Capitol, still demanding answers. Aaron Babbitt, he's joining us live now to discuss. Aaron, thanks so much for taking the time. Again, you and I have spoken several times here on this program. I want to ask you about this. Where does this lawsuit stand in terms of you seeking more information there on what really happened to your wife, the information that's been released, the information that has not been released? Where does that lawsuit stand?
There's been no information released, Sean. We had to file that back in April. Given the fact that the Capitol Police are not subject to FOIA, they transferred the investigation to Washington Metro Police Department, which they are subject to FOIA. So we sent them a Freedom of Information Act request, requesting documents, requesting the name of the officer, requesting footage, whatever they got during that investigation, and they had 2 weeks to either provide it or give us the proverbial finger, and they didn't do either. They don't care that much. They just totally ignored it to where last I knew there was a court hearing regarding this first week in September.
But again, you feel it continues to be pushed off, perhaps not a priority. Would that be a correct statement?
It's definitely not a priority, but I think there's a lot more behind it. I truly believe at this point they feel it was a bad shooting, and they're kind of backed themselves into a corner. So,
what do you think is behind it?
I feel if Ashli had anything down to a penknife in her pocket, they would have considered that a weapon and called it a good shoot. She had a backpack on with no weapons. So you can't just come out and publicly justify a shooting like that. It's murder.
You know, a lot of folks in the media obviously know, as we do here, and virtually everyone knows, we do not know the name of the officer that shot your wife. I want to ask you your feelings on that, on the public not being able to know. Obviously, you, first and foremost, not being able to know. How do you feel about that?
I mean, for me, Sean, every day since the 6th, I've had to wake up in the morning and put my feet on the ground knowing that I'm going to go through that day without my best friend anymore. And as these weeks and months go on, I now have to go to bed with a gut punch knowing that nobody, I won't say anybody, but 98% of Congress and those people involved in D.C. just don't care about me, my wife, our family. They don't care.
A lot of people do, though, Aaron. A lot of people do. A lot of people watching this broadcast and a lot of people on social media you get a lot of assistance from. Before we go, I want to ask you about this and how you feel about the politicization of Ashli's death. A recent article in an interview on CNN was put out about it because there's a couple ways to, they pointed out there are a couple ways to look at it. As horrible as it sounds, there are people on the left that say she deserved what happened to her. There are people on the right that said she died for her country. But no matter which way that you put it, her death would always be politicized. How do you feel about that?
I read all the gross, disgusting things. I see it all. It breaks my heart that Ashli's not here to defend herself. If any of these people ever had the opportunity to meet my wife, they'd fall in love with her. She was just a gem to be around. She was a beautiful person. She was an amazing patriot. She served her country from the age of 17. She did 4 tours overseas, and I haven't mentioned this before, but she was scheduled for a 5th. So these people that are demonizing her from, the left and wherever else, they had no problem sending her to war 4 times, almost 5, and now they just want to demean her and kick her down, and it's sad. Yeah. It's disgustingly sad.
Well, Aaron, we'll continue to follow this, as always, we have with you. Before you go, there's an account, I know, for those that want to help out, Justice for Ashli Babbitt. The following is growing there. I believe the Twitter handle is for Ashli. Tell me really quickly about that.
It's for Ashli. It's run by our legal team. They are the tip of the spear on this thing, and they're steadfast and nose to the grind. And we're not giving up. And there is a legal fund now that's been set up. We're going to have, this is going to be definitely David versus Goliath fight, and we're strapped in and ready to go.
All right, we'll leave it there. Aaron Babbitt, thank you for being brave, sir, and talking about this very sensitive topic, to say the very least about it. Again, that's Aaron Babbitt joining us live. Aaron, thank you.
Thank you, Sean. See you soon.
Hi, Emma Reckenberg here. If you like this video, there's a whole lot more to see on Newsmax TV. You can watch for free right here on our YouTube live stream and be the first one here each time our experts break down real news. Just hit that subscribe button, ring the bell icon, and stay with us on America's fastest growing cable news channel, Newsmax TV.